yeah, that's great that Spicy Belly is opening up a little bit again. That's neat.
Yeah, we're trying to, and the Boudoir Studio is like slowly starting to book stuff again. I have things in July, but not really too much going on right now. But
yeah, how about Bad Kitty?
Yeah,
is
right.
That,
That's what she
yeah,
said.
that's
what it
the
is?
Boudoir spot.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, very cool, very cool. So
I'd assume that that kind of that's not like it shouldn't be a real COVID risk. Just
No, that's what it's very intimate, and it is only like one-on-one, or like sometimes somebody will bring like a girlfriend for like a little hype support or something. But we offer hair and makeup as well, so we're not doing hair right now, but like with makeup I have like the gloves and all like the single-use stuff and keeping safe with everything. But yeah,
very cool.
I bet people want to get pictures taken outside sometimes, right? Although for those pictures that'd be weird, but it would be cool to have an outside area, you know.
yeah, that's what our one studio, which one is it? San Diego, they offer like bikini beach photo shoots and stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can like, I don't know what their beaches are looking like right now, because I know Jersey, it's like a little crazy, but
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Better than Philly beaches anyway.
yeah.
Oh.
Down by the Delaware.
The liquid chicken.
The liquid chicken.
Ah, ticks! This is bad.
So, so we had a couple things. You mentioned like 3 things that you thought you might want to speak about. The AOK Foundation, Philly Forests, and then also I believe it was what's the boutique again?
Perfectly Flawless is the
Perfectly
one.
Flawless. Yeah. Is that still good for you? Do you want to go over those 3?
Yeah. I don't know. I know Crystal with Perfectly Flawless like is changing up a couple things just because her like window got all hit and everything. But she has like a gorgeous mural out front of it now that Joe, I'm pretty sure it's Joe from the coffee shop and Nomad like helped all do it up. It looks so cool.
Wonderful.
I haven't like taken photos of it yet, but I like drove by and I was like, oh my god, this is so cute.
Oh, great.
Yeah, you said she didn't really have anything stolen. It's just the storefront got.
Yeah, the store. She took everything out of the store. Like in hindsight, thank God. So she wasn't missing any like products, but the window got all like smashed up.
Right, but that's the landlord's problem, right?
Hopefully.
Totally. But you were out on the you marched on Friday, right? That was
I've been out a couple days. I haven't been out this week just because like I know they said that you should wait like 7 days after your protest to get tested and everything, which I'm doing just to like be safe because I'm gonna start babysitting my nephew again. So like God forbid.
Oh yeah.
But
Are you getting tested? Were you able to? Did you go to your doctor
I'm
and say I was
going
in March?
I think I have an appointment on Tuesday. I forget. I have to double check. But like I looked up like the free testing that's around here.
I'd like to know about that, like when you get it done, because I hear there's different tests, and one of them jams the whole thing up your nose.
Yeah, that's what my friend in England, he actually works for the Air Force, and he's getting deployed somewhere else, and he was like, they shoved this thing up my nose, and like he recorded it, and he was just like, ugh.
Oh no! I hope that's not what you get.
Ugh.
I hope it's just
like too much afterwards. It just felt weird. He's like, I thought they were trying to scramble my brains. Like,
yeah, they said it goes like way up there because so I wish it was a blood test or a mouth thing or something.
Yeah, the mouth swab I feel like is a lot better. I don't know.
I'd much rather have a swab in my mouth than up my nose. But they say the mouth swab isn't as accurate, right?
Yeah.
You gotta go for the nose.
But yeah, I was out at a couple protests. All the days are like blurring together, so I couldn't tell you like what day specifically.
Yeah.
But I was there almost every single day last week. I took like a couple just mental health day and like figure my own shit out days. And But
what kind of things did you see?
There was like a good mix of stuff. Like there was like the peaceful, like what everything's kind of been going the last couple weeks. Like Saturday was awesome. Saturday there was just so many people, and like once we marched from the art museum, kind of people started breaking up in their own groups, and like this one group just had all this music blasting and was doing like the Cupid's Shuffle and blasting like Meek Mill, and it was so fun. It was like it felt more like a block party than a protest at that point, but I was like, this is great. Like we all need this. This is
sounds like Philly to me.
It was Philly. So like I don't know, it was very Philly, and like the signs people had were just like super creative, and I don't know, I was really about that. Saturday was awesome. But then
did you have a sign?
I didn't because I was shooting, but my one friend actually took an old t-shirt and then jean pieces that they had and made like a Trans Lives Matter. On one side it said that, and the other side was like the fist. I was like, this is so creative.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the signs too. When I go to and I'm always like, damn, I wish I thought of that.
Right?
Damn, like, oh, it's so clever.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, there was one I saw. This wasn't the George Floyd protest, but there was one about, it's bad if there's a straight white male out here protesting.
That's a good one.
Right.
No, I saw a lot. I don't know how familiar you guys are with SpongeBob.
A little bit.
But there was one, it's like this one character in a couple episodes was like, this old man kept getting the blame for everything. This fish was just like, how many times do we gotta tell you, old man? And he was like all ready to fight. And like somebody made that sign about Trump. And I was like, yes.
That's wonderful.
I was like, this is golden.
Well, there's been some, go ahead.
I was gonna say like, but it's just seeing the difference between Saturday and like the Sunday prior. It was like almost night and day though, because I went to West Philly and that was dicey. Like, I saw like a kid that was probably no more than like 12 or 13, just full face of mace, and he lived around the corner or something, and he was just like, I just wanted to walk around and see what was going on, and I was like, oh my god, and like it was very communal, and I appreciate how many people like jump, because I was like, oh, like let me take this photo, and I was like, no, I need to help this boy, like this is a baby. Like once I realized how young he was, and there was like a couple medics on him, I was just like, yo, if you need a ride home, like I was gonna leave soon, whatever. But he said he lived like a couple blocks away, so this like group of guys were like, we are making sure you get home, we are making sure you're safe, and like people were coming out on their stoops and just like giving Britta pitchers of water to help with like all the tear gas, and like I don't know.
Did you get any gas? Were you?
Yeah, which that was the first time I experienced it, and like it was rough. It wasn't.
Was it? You don't wear contacts or anything, do you?
I do, which thankfully it didn't like mess that up at all, because I didn't read until afterwards, like, hey, don't wear contacts. And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, right?
But I actually, because I saw a couple people and like saw posts about it too, how you can take a traffic cone and like put it on top of the gas and start pouring water to kind of like diffuse it. So I was like, all right, let me try to do this. And the wind was just kind of like, nope, and blew it all into my face. I was like, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to. But then again, like everybody was just so communal, and as soon as I started walking back and I was like coughing and wheezing, people were like, are you good? Here's some water, like here's baking soda, like we're helping you. I said, thank you. Like I don't know, I feel like as rough as it got, and how like, because I saw a girl that was like shot in the head with the rubber bullets, and she had like blood dripping and everything, and like so many people were on top of her to help her. The neighbors were out with like the water and everything, and everybody was just like, this is a problem, but we can help like as a community, and just like we're not being assholes like everybody else is, kind of.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, it was a sight to see though.
Right. I heard that when it came to violence, it was not on people. It looked to be on, unless you were the cops, but like as a part of like the people themselves weren't even at the height of the angry. Then the protest got super angry, even on like that whatever it was. They said that it wasn't people on people. It was
it was very much just like civilians versus police, pretty much, and like this riot team and everything that was out. And I got a shot, and it was just so weird. Like, the cars all lined up, and then the tank kind of armored vehicle in the middle, and the guy's almost like directly like pointing his gun at me, and I was like, this just is like surreal. Like, I don't really know how to put it into context, but it was, I don't know.
Were you scared?
I was like a little anxious, but I knew, like, because my boyfriend Frank was with me, and we were like checking in on each other, and I was like, yo, as soon as you get out of my sight, I'm calling you, and vice versa. Like, we made sure we were like good with each other, and I don't know.
You had a protest buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Right.
is very recommended, and it's good, especially like even my friends that I knew that went to protest that I didn't. I was like texting them. I was like, I just saw this on Twitter. Are you okay? Like, what's the situation? Like, how are you feeling? And everybody's being very like vocal and communal, and I don't know. Even like people, West Philly Food Not Bombs, a couple days I noticed them, like they made sandwiches and they were giving out water and snacks, and there was like different groups and stuff doing that, and I was just like, this is Philly. Like, this is our core. Like, no matter what, like, we stand up with what's going on, and like we're gonna help however we can, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Do you sense that? I know that it's not like we were all alive during the civil rights or anything like that, but like, do you sense that white peeps are getting more behind this now, finally?
I am very hopeful. Like, there's actually a lot of kids that I'm still friends with from like high school and just like Jersey in general on Facebook that I'm like, I didn't expect you to be sharing this, but I am glad that we are growing. Like, yes, please, let's continue this growth. Like, and then of course there's the couple that I'm like, yeah, you're always gonna be like that, but like, I'm gonna post my stuff so you can see it and hopefully like read it and
Right.
I don't know. But I think there is like a big group of like people just like understanding it more and knowing that you can't be quiet about this, and like, I don't know, I gave myself a break from at least Instagram with sharing my art and like my photos from the protest, because it was like, I want Black photographers and like just artists of color in general to like be able to share their perspective and their thoughts and their images from it all, and like, but I don't want this to be like me being quiet too, so I'm gonna like let it sit for a couple days and then go for it and everything. And I don't know, I feel like white people need to speak out more, but they also need to listen more is a big aspect of it, because I feel like everybody just shouts over each other, and to a point like shouting is good, but you need to like make sure you're shouting the proper things or shouting things that like need to be heard and said, and not just screaming into an empty void.
That's true, and that is a weird position. I feel you summed it up exactly. How I and that, like, what do I do? Because it's like, you know, white people, you made racism. You got to fix it. It's up to you. You can't be quiet. You know, silence is complicit, is being complacent and complicit. So I'm like, all right. And then they're like, but you got to listen. So it's like, ooh. So we talk, we not talk. So it's like but I know that there are two different kinds of talking, as you're saying. You know, there's this kind that just goes into the void that you don't need to waste your time on. But there's the important calls outs that, you know, we need to be calling each other out, and we need to be asking each other to read, I guess, and educate.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I even put together an email and I sent it to my mom, and I was like, you can forward this to whoever, but here's some petitions that you need to sign. Here's like how to contact your senator or find out your reps and all that. Because she was venting to me the one day, and she was just like, I'm so mad I can't, like, if I was 20 years younger, I would be out on the streets marching with you. And she was just like so upset by everything. She just was like, I feel helpless. I was like, well, did you tell your mayor you're upset about this? Did you tell your state rep? Did you tell this person? Did you? Oh, I can do that. I'm like, yes, you voted them in. Make them work for you.
That's wonderful. That sounds like a really helpful email too. If you pass that on to us, we can we would throw that out.
Yeah, I definitely
include it in your page.
Yes.
You know? That might be something that we can do, action steps at the end of your this interview or whatever we do, we'll tell
Yeah,
people.
I'm totally here for that. I put too, like, a couple, I mean, there's always going to be more businesses and documentaries and books and whatever to share and post, but I, like, tried to compile a little list of that, too, just to be like, everyone can do this!
Right? It's not that hard. It's okay. Get out of your Facebook bubble and into a different one.
Exactly. And, like, I don't know. I don't want to, like, defriend people on Facebook until, like, it's a whole issue. And, like, if they get in an argument and it's just a total headache and a half, like, okay.
They're stalking you or something, right?
If there's no, like, end of this and you're just going to pick a fight to pick a fight, then whatever. But there's, like, a couple people that I'm like, I'm going to just mute you for now because I want to have this value and, like, but I'm hoping you will learn.
Right. It's weird. We booted people off our, we have a East Falls Rants page that's just like for people that they just say whatever they want. And usually it's like, can you help me find my cat? Or, you know, this business is opening, but people got into it. And I was really glad. Usually people get into it on the page and it just goes to the sewer. And then I wind up just going like, okay, everybody off. But in this instance, we had a lot of people yelling back at the freaking races to the point where they went off and made their own page.
Well, even I saw one of the posts about like NASCAR and stuff. People were just like commenting on it, just being like,
oh, the comments are great.
I'm leaving. I'm never gonna see this, and like whatever. And people are like, all right, see ya. Don't forget your hood on the way out. Like,
love it.
Like, please, this is what I want.
Isn't it great? And then they get mad and they're just like, you guys are just intolerant. I'm like,
yeah, I'm like, no, we're not racist.
We're done being intolerant and now you're mad.
Yeah, we understand history and
yeah, right? Oh my gosh. So yeah, it's weird times, man. It's just weird times. And we talked a long time before COVID. She was like all into, I'm like, you can use our office. And it was like, yeah, use the office. It's right there. We were like, gotta give you the keys and be like, you can set up the whatever. And now Connie went and boarded our windows. So yeah. I mean, it's the weirdest thing. Like, we're all different now. So I guess we'll go back. Yeah.
We're in a virtual world for the time being.
So weird. But we can help. We will do whatever we can do to help. I think. And this is fun.
So let's touch base then with let's start off with Perfectly Flawless then. So did we cover enough of that? Do we want to, she said she's got an actual fundraising.
She's been posting her like PayPal for it and everything. It's like the PF's Foundation. And
Yes Foundation. We have get their emails.
She was collecting clothes on Thursdays, and she like was doing it last year too. She would have like racks of clothes out on the street and just whoever needed them could take them, and just like a very like donation driven thing to help people in the community. And I think that's great because like everybody has a bag of clothes sitting in the back of the closet or like that shirt hanging up that like, oh, I'm gonna wear that in like 5 months from now. No, we're not.
I literally we have bags of clothes that are like, it's gonna go somewhere. And then I just keep moving it around. That's the only place.
Yeah, and like a lot of places right now are like iffy about taking clothes with COVID and stuff. But she's just like, yeah, like we will make sure they're good. Like we will distribute them to whoever. And I know like a week or so ago, she even went out to like Broad and just had a table and was like handing stuff out to people. I'm like, you are awesome. She is a big and a half.
She's amazing. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, we want to follow up with her, and because we talked to Chrissy at Aaliyah's Boutique. And she mentioned Perfectly Flawless, and she's like, oh, she's such a great person. Yeah. You know, we work with her. She's got the great, you know, the clothing is so sharp, but she's like, we do the accessorizing. So she was talking to us before all this stuff came down about, you know, she's a good person you need to touch base with.
That's what, I haven't like talked to her too much like in person and stuff, but she was at one of the Kids Meals on Wheels days before everything got like super strict, and we could have like more than 5 people making PB&Js all day.
right.
But we were like talking, and she's just like such a beautiful, like I don't know, she just had such a happy and beautiful soul too, that I was like, yes, you keep doing this. Like I want to hype you up everywhere.
That's awesome. Good.
That is cool.
Good.
That is cool. And then the other thing you mentioned was the AOK Foundation.
Yeah, it's your AOK, so
AOK.
YOUR, then A.O.K. Foundation.
Okay.
I've been working with them for like at least 3 years now. Yanni is like, she's another beautiful soul. I love her so much. And she's like done stuff at McVeigh Rec Center around Kensington and like doing coat drives and presents for like holidays and Christmas and back to school stuff. And she tries to have dinners there during the week to like keep the kids out of the street and make sure they're getting fed and everybody's like good and safe. And right now, on Mondays and Wednesdays, she's at Caring for Friends, which is like, I don't know what part of the city it technically is, but it's almost like Ben Salem area, so like 30 minutes. But we're making frozen dinners and like prepping them and wrapping them all up for people, and then afterwards I help load up our cars with stuff, and we like make other bags of groceries to give out to people. And she just like every single day she has some type of project of like helping either disabled people or elderly, and very much like kid family driven. And she's incredible. And I was talking to her one day about it and was like, what made you like want to do this? And she was like, I didn't have a Miss Yanni growing up, so I have to like, I want to be somebody's Miss Yanni and like be able to help other people like that. I was like, yes.
That's great.
And she's awesome too, because when I help her, she's like, you need food? What do you need? Take whatever food you need. I'm like, okay.
That's so nice.
She always makes sure everyone's fed, everyone's taken care of, and she's doing a Father's Day platter right now and like giving it out to single dads. And I think the deadline for it is June 2nd, or no, I don't know what day it is. June 12th to like sign up to like have your food delivered. But she's like taking donations on Facebook and Cash App and stuff for that to like help buy the food and make like little baskets and just like try to lift people's spirits up and everything. And her food is so good, so I'm excited to get a platter.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so we'll post all those. We'll put those links up, you know, in the thread or on the website with
That's
this.
so
with
cool.
this
And you're doing all this volunteering yourself. That is so
yeah. I'm only doing once a week, but I mean, it keeps me busy, and I always love to help people too, because it's just like, it gets me out of the house. It gives me a reason to do something, and if it helps other people, then why not do it?
That's so nice.
Yeah. Is your Redbubble site, is that still going pretty well, or?
I haven't made too many sales off it recently, but I did have like a few hits, which was nice. That's what this week I'm like trying to write out my plan of figuring out like, okay, I'm going to post about this again and post about that, because I actually been selling, it's coming in waves, but like a decent amount of prints. And I started doing like, I'm donating part of it to your OK, and then to the Leukemia Lymphoma Society to like help my family's campaign doing all that. So I've gotten like a couple hits up from that, so it's exciting. And
that's neat. So which one of your prints are, what kind of your prints are selling the best?
it's kind of a mix right now, because I did like stuff from Belize and like the tropical fun stuff, which is something we all need right now, I feel.
Yeah.
I would love to be quarantined on an island in Belize right now.
That was one of our backgrounds, was I picked one of your island scenes in the background too.
But there was another one from when I went to the Czech Republic, and there's this church that's just covered in skulls.
The ossuary.
Yeah.
We were there.
I think it's so freaking cool and creepy, and like, I don't know. I have a couple photos from that, and people were like asking about that. I was like, I'm glad there's like weird people that like skulls like I do, because like, I don't know. I feel like to hang it up into your house, some people will be like, wait, what is that? I'm like, it's just a skull. It's fine.
It's fine. It's from what is it? Memento mori.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die someday.
And like the story behind the ossuary was like super interesting to me too, about how they like just dug up all these bodies and they're like redoing the church, and they're like, we might as well make it art. I don't know.
Have them out here. Let's see. And then they're not that uncommon. Like there are other ossuaries.
Yeah, I've seen there's like a couple. Like there's one in Italy or something too, I think.
Yeah. We like to decorate with, humans decorated with bones back in the day.
Yeah, why not? I mean, the Mutter Museum, you can donate your skull to it. Have it in the museum.
That's true. That's true. It puts pressure on me. Like I'd have to do something fantastic so that my skull would stand out.
Yeah.
It's like, does my skull look okay? Should I?
Right.
Where will it be displayed? I need to see.
My best side.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you doing any of the photos from the protest? Are you using any of those for any kind of upcoming installations or anything?
I've been thinking about selling prints of them. I'm trying to figure that out because if I do prints, I want it to like go specifically to like a Black organization or nonprofit at some point because I don't want to be like a white person trying to profit off of that. I feel like that's a little weird to me, but I don't know. I'm still in the works of figuring that out because there's a couple shots that I absolutely love and like I'm being mindful of like taking photos of people's back or like blurring out faces and everything just to keep everyone safe. But there's some stuff like there's one photo, my mom wants me to print it out. This guy had a statue of Our Lady of Guadalupe and it didn't look stone, but if it was stone, I give him all of the props because those are heavy as can be. But he was like carrying it around and he was like kneeling with it and raising it like up above his head and like it was so cool. And it's just like, yeah, like this just shows you we can all be good people and you can be a good Christian and still support this. And I don't know.
Yeah. Was that downtown or is that in?
Yeah, that was Center City. That.
Did you get any good pictures from like the Germantown protests?
I didn't do Germantown, but I went to the Mount Airy one. I'm still like working through those photos, but the day the Germantown one was going on, I was like, I think I was like out of state or something for that. I was like, no! I like saw it on Facebook. I was like, no, that's my hunt. I need to be there.
Right. It was short though. It was just like a walk.
Yeah.
Didn't look like there was much to it, but it was.
I still think it's like awesome that even like little suburbs in Jersey are like taking a stand and like the suburbs in PA are like getting out and everything too. I'm like, we need more of this. We need to like have, because my dad's hometown is probably one of the most racist towns in New Jersey and they had their own march and there was like 400 people and I'm like, thank you.
Wow.
Right?
Jeez.
Like, this is good. This is what we
It really is. Like when you read about it, they say that when they look into people's however you trust polls, they said that like 70%, like we did a total change. Like now it's like everybody in the country is just like, fuck the police. Like, no lie. It's like, but I mean, you can't watch a man get killed on camera and not come away.
No, and I don't get how people are just like, oh, well, it was only that one guy. I'm like, well, what about the 3 people standing behind him that okayed it? Like, that's how he reacts. Like, they're just as accountable.
No, here's my theory. I think that the people who are anything but absolutely horrified by what they saw, right? Those are the people that identify with the police, can watch that video and there's a small percentage of people, I think, that watch that video and it can identify with the police. And everybody else looks at it and sees what we all saw, which was some man's getting murdered. But the people that identify with the cops, to me, they're dangerous. They're the people that are going to push us in the gas chamber, right?
I love the idea that people are finally petitioning for the KKK to be a terrorist group. Because, like, why isn't it a terrorist group?
Was it not? Right. Like, I thought it was mind-blowing to me that
I read the petition. I was like, wait, well, yeah, I'm going to sign this, but wait, why is this? Why do we need to make this a thing?
Aren't they already? Like, really? Someone doesn't know this?
Oh my.
It's amazing. It's just amazing. So I really think we're at that juncture, you know. I did think it's like, it's dangerous now. Like people are all just, well, everybody needs their own opinion. I'm like, no. Because now it's not like free speech is one thing, but human rights is like a totally different
it's not
thing.
a politics thing.
No.
It's a human thing. Like, I don't care. You could be like the most right-wing Republican, but there's still people on that side standing with it.
They are.
Like, I wouldn't want my like nephew getting shot because he's partial Puerto Rican. Like,
right?
He's my nephew. Like, you shouldn't be mad if he was all white. I wouldn't want him getting shot because of his race. It's very much a race thing.
Right. You see, they'll turn their guns on white people in a second as soon as we align with, as soon as we're like, hey, that's wrong. They're like, oh, well, shit, you too,
Yeah. If you read any of the stuff about labor strife in the 20th century, there was plenty of women and children and, strikers getting shot, getting murdered, getting tortured.
Their houses destroyed.
And all because they decided, hey, we don't want to work 12 hours a day.
I don't want my children to work. I don't want my 3-year-old to have to go to work.
Right.
Like literally, people fought for that. I mean, I started reading about it, and it's terrifying.
Yeah, and I mean, even with like New York and San Francisco, with all like gay rights protests and everything, I'm like, thank you, Martha Johnson, and thank you, everyone. And
right. It's yeah.
So it's
so
easy
glad that.
Yeah, it's easy to divide people. It's a shame, I mean, if you realize the commonality of it, though. Yeah, that's
right. And it's just great to see you and Frank, your work. You're fighting the good fight
so
hard and on the Facebook groups and talking people down and all kinds of stuff. It's pretty awesome.
So I know he can be a little bit of a troll, but sometimes you need a good laugh.
Good troll! Good troll for the right. For the good of us.
We need more of those. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But he didn't back down. Like, he gets you. He gets it. He goes after.
Very much like, nope, here's my sources. Here's where's your sources? Like,
Yeah.
He always makes a joke. He's like, it's not that I'm a genius. I just he's just like, I know I'm not a genius. I just know how to use Google. Like, I know how to find out the right things and the facts. I'm like, yes.
Right? It's research. We had people on our list freaking out and going like, they gave them actual information about how Rizzo beat up those school kids. There's some protests in West Philly. It's like a thing that he did that was just horrible and one of his worst things that he did. And they gave her a link and she was like, fake news. So he goes and he gives her Wikipedia. Well, fake news, Wikipedia, anyone can do it. So he goes and gives her Swarthmore education. Like, he gives her like all these links. He just keeps slamming her, and she just left.
Well, that's what, I don't even remember what it was exactly, but somebody shared something that I'm friends with that was just like blatantly wrong. And I was like, hey, just so you know, this is the proper information and whatever. And they're like, oh, I didn't know this. Thank you. And they're really cool about it. But then the third party person was just like, I don't trust this. You have sources, blah, blah, blah. And I like posted a couple things, and then I kind of like creeped on her profile a little. I was like, hold on. I was like, oh, here's a one from Fox News, because I know people say the rest are fake. And then she was just dead quiet. Like, even they're talking the facts about this one, so you can't.
No. You're on the wrong side of history, people. This is actually a fun time for those of us who like to argue, because I mean, it's like, you're on it. Sorry, you're wrong. You're literally wrong. I don't get to say that very often, but
Yeah. One other thing we wanted to touch on is Philly forests. So what's Philly forests about?
So Jasmine, who used to work at Germantown Espresso Bar, she's been doing a lot of stuff with like the food trust, and just like, she was helping out with I forget which one of the historical societies last year, and doing like a bunch of farming, and they had like a plot of land that they were just using as like a free garden for people that you could come and pick up your own stuff, and it was really awesome. So she actually has a plot in the Arboretum, and she's been making like boxes and stuff for like the elderly or whoever needs food, and trying to like get that out there too. And she's starting to like do a GoFundMe and try to get more supplies for like the raking and all the little monotonous things that come with farming. But she is like killing it, and I absolutely love it. And like, I'm always for the veggies, and she has such an eye with the like photos she posts too, and like, she makes kale just look so beautiful, and I'm like, oh yes. I'm like, this is great.
And you know how hard that is, because you take food. You're a food photographer sometimes.
Yeah, and she has a good eye with it, and she's just like, knows so much about food nutrition, and wants to focus on like bringing it to the poverty communities, because it sucks how expensive some veggies are, and it's not.
Yeah, you're right.
It doesn't make sense why a McDonald's hamburger on the dollar menu like is so much worse for you, but then is like so much cheaper than a carrot or like an avocado or something.
Yeah, and more filling. So if you're poor, you think, I'll just eat this because it's gonna get me through the night or whatever. But yeah, it's so nice that people are growing and doing it for themselves. It's a neat time. It's a really cool DIY time. And you also mentioned, I liked what you said. People were arguing about, not arguing, but talking about like how you support Black business and well, now you should support this business and da da da. And Shannon was just like, look, guys, we got to get creative. There are creative ways to keep businesses going that don't include just charity.
Right.
Even with how you guys are going digital with like the little videos and stuff, and like the Home Shopping Network exists, and that's literally just a video of people selling stuff 24 hours. So there's always ways to like adapt, and like I know people that have been selling stuff on their Instagram pages for forever, and it's like we can switch to that. We can do Facebook more. You can do like your lives to advertise your clothing or like whatever you're selling. And I feel like the internet has so many tools. We just have to figure out what works for your business and how to get a hold of it. Even my one girlfriend makes these, I'm sorry, she makes these like ashtrays, and it's like a person's mouth, like so funky looking, and she like blew up on Twitter, and now her stuff is selling out within like the half hour of her posting it. And I'm like, this is the power of the internet. And like I don't know, she doesn't even know. She's like, I just posted it one day, and then like 2,000 people retweeted it, and like I posted my work before, so I don't know what's any different, but
wonderful.
That's awesome.
So she's like got a business now.
Yeah, and she was a welder for a while, and she's like, I can make this like a full-time gig. I don't have to rely on like working for the man anymore. And she's very much like little hippie that went to Pratt, and like she's an angel and a half. She's like, fuck the man, I'm gonna do this now.
That's awesome.
Very cool. Very
so
cool.
What do you have that can go viral that will make you a millionaire?
I'm working on it. No, I've been trying to like make sure my Facebook page and my Instagram and everything are up to date. And I took my website down just to like save me some money. But honestly, like word of mouth is so good. Like I'm always like dropping business cards to people, or like my sister-in-law put me in one of those like booze fairy groups. So I like was in Jersey and gave her a couple bags to like give out, and I dropped my business card in all of them just to be like, hey. And one of the girls hit me up, and she was like, oh my gosh, we used to work together. I was looking for a photographer. I'm gonna hit you up. I was like, please do. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yes.
That's cool. That's cool.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do exactly for mine, but I'm probably going to do like another photo special once things start opening back up again, and like figure out something with social media. Like, cause even just posting for sale on my, like story and just being like, hey, I have prints for sale. People were like sharing that without me even asking. And it was just like, such an awesome, like, oh, you guys like me. Thanks.
It's a nice bump. Yeah.
But it's nice. And obviously they do, because you like everybody and you're working with everybody. So I think stuff comes around, makes a circle.
Very cool. Yeah. Hey, do you get back to Tehran at all? Over here in East Falls? Do you get back to Tehran over here in East Falls at all?
No.
No.
Yeah, they changed hands. It's no longer Craig. There's a new chef.
Oh.
I know. When they open up, we should go BYO if they do outside tables.
Yeah, that'd be
nice. Down to clown.
Yeah. So, well, cool. Well, thanks for making some time for us. We appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks again. Yeah, and we'll send you the video once we get it up, and like I say, we'll post all the links.
And did we hit everything we wanted to talk about?
I think we got everything. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
All right.
Bye.
See ya. Take care.
Bye.
Peace.